All right, guys. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I got a little bit left as far as energy before I want to go to sleep and wake up to a new day. I'm feeling okay. Don't feel anything really wrong with me, but Misty has got a couple symptoms like cold sweats and bad cough, stuff like that. She had her COVID test today, and so sometime between, I'd say, 10 and 58 hours from when I upload this, we'll know the results of that and know if I'm probably going to get it after her. It is what it is. Moving on, because that's all I really know about what's going on there. Today I want to talk about pwnage, actually. Pwnage was a thing back in the day. It's like, I know you millennials will probably, when you hear that word from me, if you've heard it before, you probably consider it like as dated as groovy or radical, tubular, Pwnage, I would say, peaked around 2012, and by 2014 it was on its way out. People really want to have a funeral for the word pwnage like they did for the word deaf in the hip-hop industry. So, yeah, it was a thing, but let me tell you why the real master pwnage artists left pwnage. It was because so many people were doing it wrong. And by wrong, I mean they were making fools of themselves. They were watering down all the content here on YouTube with pwnage that was really weak sauce, right? Richard the Dick Coughlin used to run the Pwnage Olympics, and if you were to look at the reasons why he stopped running it, it was probably because he had so many entrants that sucked. They really weren't good pwnage. He'd get 5 or 10 really good ones for each category, and then, hundreds upon hundreds of posers. Another dated term. Anyways, it took a lot for the judges to score all that, and you had to have extra help to get through all the videos for each event, and it didn't appeal to him anymore. But belying all of that was also this sense that we had this thing that we were trying to achieve, where you would address someone's argument and then do a little pirouette, a little style, a little slam dunk, and prove them wrong, right? In an entertaining fashion so that everybody at home could, up thumb. Or give more stars because, it was back in the day. So a lot of people who were high-end pwnage artists, they left doing pwnage videos for whatever other things interested them. Now you see I'm like the king of rambles here. I don't do much of that anymore. And when I do, I don't label it pwnage. But some people did not disarm during that time. And they did what would be considered at least mid-grade pwnage. And they rose to stardom on YouTube, while the others of us saw what was happening to the art form as far as it becoming somewhat like cyberbullying instead of art. Those people took that they took that opportunity to fill the void that we left. And in particular, I'll call out people who at one point during the peak of pwnage were nobodies. Nobody knew of them. And right after pwnage was on its way out because the masters had left the internet. These people had marked success. I'll say your bearings of the world, right? When everybody else unilaterally disarmed and said, you know what, this might not be good for the world, they took those same techniques, had a lot of success with it, just like we had before. And, it comes in cycles, People, at first, they really love it. They love the internet blood sports. They love the hate club. They love a lot of that, the drama. Drama is really good for views, but then, people cycle through it. They get over it. They start to claim that they hate watching drama when that's actually what brought them to the show in the first place. And, so on and so forth. Each generation, and by generation I mean like every 3 years on the internet, because, internet time is a lot more condensed than, real time. Things get old on the internet a lot quicker. Every generation has their own learning curve to it. And when things are old for you, they're brand new for somebody else just coming into the scene. It's the way things are on the internet. It's not like it was before, when you'd have like one wave of punk music and then another wave of punk music 3 years later that lasted for like a 10-year span, and then like grunge rock takes over the world for, a whole decade until Nickelback killed music. Anyways, what inspired this ramble thus far is a trend that I saw on Twitter of 800 for Trump, which for me is a prime example of people failing at pwnage, right? They thought they had a point. They made tweets that are still out there embarrassing themselves. People are retweeting these things, and it's very easily fact-checkable, and their math's off to the point where it's actually the opposite of what they think it is. So this is what happened. So there was a recount in Floyd County in Georgia, and 2,600 ballots that weren't originally uploaded from Floyd County from one of the voting machine things, they were finally uploaded, right? The news reported it as Trump got a net gain of 800 votes out of that find. And so people on Twitter responded with, oh, he asked for a recount and he only got 800 votes and there were 2,600 votes found. He's losing even worse when he asked for the recount. No. And you know what? I'm not making a production out of this as far as like pwnage videos go, but there's my ficus and there's my fern, right? And let's go to Twitter right here. You can see this guy Howard says, so the Georgia recount, Trump world is celebrating 800 for Trump but ignoring the other 1,800 votes for Biden. MAGA, because learning is hard. And this guy, let's see. Making fun of Trump, like Trump says, what's the good news, Rudy? Rudy says, we found votes in Georgia, 800 for Trump. Great, what's the bad news? And Rudy says, that left 1,800 votes for Biden. You know, this guy, completely wrong. And he's got 1,000 people have liked his tweet, right? Unfortunately, if you go to the source, the Atlanta Journal, right here, right? You find it was 800 net votes for Trump. There were 1,643 new votes for Trump and 865 for Biden. Hopefully you guys can see all that, because I just blindly turn my phone around. Because we're not doing the pwnage. What I'm saying is, they're dancing so much that they made it a trending term on Twitter, 800 for Trump. And all of these people are dancing for the wrong reason. Because they can't math. When they hear 800 net votes for Trump, what they're thinking is Trump only got 800 out of the 2,600. That's not what happened. Trump got 800 more votes than Biden. And to watch the Twitterverse right now and see all of these people just trying to pile on the embarrassment of Trump at this time, where it looks like Trump has, he's lost the election and he can't accept it. For these people to want to pile on the schadenfreude that they're experiencing by, one more little pwnage moment, it's disgusting. Because they suck at pwnage. And it makes you not want to be a part of them. If you can math, or you can logic, or you can even just look at the original news article and read for yourself that it does not mean that. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Anyways, yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Don't dance when you shouldn't be dancing, because it's a bad look.